it's not just about Bitcoin. I know a lot of you guys have alts and you're wondering what's going on with alts. Are they going to go up to the moon along with Bitcoin? Well, yes, many people feel like that's the case. And if you actually chart alts' market cap, right, you'll see that it actually looks like it's following the Wyckoff pattern, which means basically it's being manipulated right now. And it means that, hey, better days are coming. Okay, and a lot of people are looking at when altcoin season is going to come. Well, according to Mustache, he believes in 2 to 3 months, we will see the biggest altcoin season since 2017. And that's saying a lot. 2017 brought some crazy gains to alts, even more so than 2021. So are we going to see the same kind of pumps this time around? Yeah, why not? And if in case you're wondering, you look at some of the alts and their performance versus Bitcoin, there have been some that have really outperformed Bitcoin, and there are many that have not. But if you pay attention to the ones that have outperformed Bitcoin, what are they? What kind of projects are they? Well, mostly, it looks like to me 3 kinds. Memes, DePIN, and some L1s, okay? But mostly, you look at their memes like Whiff, Pepe, Floki, Sheep, Doge, right? But then you also have DePIN plays in there like Arweave, Theta, Render, right? And then you have some L1s like Near and Solana and even CRO in there, right? But there are many that are still trailing. But they will catch up. In altcoin season, that's when the alts really start exploding upwards and gives you those crazy gains that you're seeking, right? So that is coming around the corner. Our president here in the US, President Biden, is proposing a 44.6% capital gains tax for 2025. That's a huge jump from where we are now, right? So of course, then that relates to crypto. If you're making money in the US with crypto, now you got to pay almost 50% in capital gains. That's horrific. That's horrible. And he's proposing a 25% tax on unrealized gains, which is even more horrible, right? Now, do I think any of these proposals will pass? No. But it did come out today, and it's absolutely ridiculous. So does this have something to do with the crash? Maybe, a little bit. But I think this is definitely the reason. Because today we have one of the biggest Bitcoin mixers, Samourai Wallet. They were arrested by the Department of Justice. Okay. So we have seen this before. We have seen Tornado Cash get shut down and its founders arrested because they're accused of money laundering. Okay. Even though there's money laundering being done by the banks every single year, and those banks get fined hundreds of millions and billions of dollars. The CEOs of them never go to jail. You look up JP Morgan, they have been fined tens of billions of dollars for money laundering. Did Jamie Dimon go to jail? No. You look at Wells Fargo, you look at Bank of America, you look at HSBC, you look at every single bank on the planet. They were charged for money laundering, yet none of the leaders ever faced jail time. So why is it that crypto founders, somehow they're all seen as criminals and they just get thrown to jail, right? That doesn't seem like it's right. But that's what happened. Tornado Cash, that's what happened. Now we have this other one, Samourai Wallet. So the founders supposedly were charged for money laundering, and supposedly they knew they were money laundering, and all this illicit activity and billions were processed through it, right? So I think this is the reason. Because, again, this is causing a lot of FUD. People are wondering what's going on. Is Bitcoin being attacked once again? And then, of course, Snowden had something to say about it, right? The Department of Justice, in quotes, has once again criminalized the developers of an app that restores financial privacy. So basically, you can't have private transactions, okay? If the government cannot see what you're doing, they don't like that, and then basically they will find a way to throw you in jail. That's basically what's going on, right? This is part of the reason why I've said I don't like privacy coins, because this is what's happening, right? The governments are fearful of privacy, fearful of transactions they can't view. That's why every single exchange is basically delisting privacy coins like Monero, and every single service that's offering some kind of confidential transaction or privacy transaction or secure transaction, they are being shut down one after another. They're not even being shut down. They're just simply throwing the leaders in jail. That's even worse. It's not like they just say, okay, you got to close down. They're throwing them in jail, right? So I do believe this also contributed to today's mini crash or dump. You also have this. Grayscale decided to up their selling today. We had pretty good smaller sells the past few days, but it ramped up to a minus 130 million today. Out of the blue, right? Like, and I'm just guessing that the other ETFs were not able to compensate for it. So that had something to do with it too. So you got three kind of major, minor reasons. You combine it together. I think that's what's happened and why Bitcoin came down again today, because you have Grayscale selling, you have Bitcoin under attack by Department of Justice, and you got Biden and his crazy capital gains proposal, right? So that's what happened today, if you need a summary, okay? But does this derail Bitcoin from, I just said this morning, the next leg up to $100,000 and beyond? Well, according to Standard Chartered, no. They still think Bitcoin will hit at least $150,000. Now, I know sometimes it seems improbable, it seems impossible maybe, that Bitcoin can break $100,000 when, in doubt right now, it seems like it's having a hard time breaking $70,000. I get it. Some people are thinking, you're crazy. Bitcoin can't even break 7,000. Why do you think it's going to break 100,000 or 150,000? You know, the halving event didn't even have any effect. So what's going on? Are we just going to continue to consolidate until we dump? No, that's wrong. So I have this halving indicator I downloaded. So I'm going to zoom out to the weekly scale, right? So these are our last few halvings that we had. Obviously, we just had one. Okay, what was the last one? The last one was May of 2020. So let me just show you guys. This was a halving event, and then you could see basically nothing until June, July. July, we had a little bump. Then we came back down, and it wasn't until October that we started going upwards, right? So you do the math. From May to October, that's 5 freaking months. So I remember after 2020, after the halving event, and that was, you know, right around the pandemic and lockdown and stuff, and everyone basically said, there's no way that Bitcoin's going to pump. There's no way we're going to have a usual cycle for Bitcoin. And they were kind of right, because we had to wait 5 months before we saw something happen. But then guess what happened? We still had that parabolic rise. So just because we had a halving event now and we don't see the effect does not mean we're not going to see it 2 months, 3 months, maybe even 5 months out. That's what happened last time.